a man who's got a movie out today. You got to go see it. It's called Den of Thieves 2 Pantera. Very badass name. It's O'Shea Jackson Jr. O'Shea, Maggie, and Perloff here in New York. Thanks so much for the time. Congrats on the movie.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, I'm going to be on pins and needles for the whole day, waiting to see what this weekend looks like for us. But we're all very confident and loving the work that we put out.
If it helps, I've seen the first movie 3 times, and I'm going to see this 3 or 4 times. I don't know if that goes to the opening box, but I can guarantee it.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I promise I get beat up way less in this one.
Well, we're happy to know that. I mean, no spoiler here, but you are kind of the mastermind bad guy in the first movie. You are the one who pulls off the bank heist. Now you're back to rob some jewels, some diamonds, and you're in Europe and you're doing it. I'm curious, we'll get to the sports stuff in a minute because we know it's a big sports weekend, but for the acting part of this, when you're playing the villain, there's a couple ways you can play. You can go really big, you can go a little more subtle. How did you approach being the bad guy?
Yeah, well, it was a weird position because I'm not necessarily supposed to be on your radar. I get so many tweets from people watching Den of Thieves 1. And in the beginning of the movie, I get a bunch of hate tweets. And then by the second portion of the film, by the climax, I'm usually, man, this was great. Oh man, you did such a good job. But I would love to do a film where I get to really kind of be a bad guy. My father is known for his frown. I'm known for my smile. And when the bad guy smiles a lot, that's usually a very good bad guy. So I would love to do that a little bit more. But in this one, the whole dynamic of the film changed from being cops and robbers to more of me and Gerard in a buddy action film.
So I got a screener, and I've seen the first half. There's an accent. Tell me about that. How when you had to do that part, how was that?
It was a big leap as far as something that I've never done in my career, but I had a lot of. It takes a village for you to take on an accent and a whole different persona. And my dialect coach, Erin, she worked on Black Panther, and so they made sure that I had, the best tools I had in my arsenal. My French teacher, Serena, and just getting down the Serbian and French on top of the dialect that I had to use. It was a new challenge for me, but I can't stay in the same tier for too long, man. We got to bump this up to A-list.
O'Shea Jackson Jr. I mean, many would say already A-list. You're saying your dad is known for his frown. People don't know your dad is Ice Cube. I love that you get this, the Serbian accent, because now when you're courtside at the Laker games and the Serbian basketball players, maybe you can talk trash to them more in their vernacular. But you are such a staple on the LA sports scene. We saw you at WWE event. You were all over Netflix the other night. But you are a diehard LA sports fan. Who is like the biggest athlete in LA right now? Is it LeBron? Has Shohei taken some of his shine? Who's the number one?
Oh man, that's hard. It's definitely between LeBron and Shohei. LeBron obviously was able to bring the city a championship, while Shohei was on that other LA team. The Angels. They're technically Anaheim, but no. LeBron was able to bring us a championship alongside Anthony Davis. But we were in the pandemic, so we couldn't necessarily get the parade that team deserved. And then Shohei's just on fire right now. He's got the entire country of Japan behind the Dodgers. As long as they're both LA, bro, they can equal stardom with me in my book.
All right, there are maybe some people talking to you right now who are skeptical of the bubble title. What do you say to people who say it doesn't count exactly the same for the Lakers?
I mean, as a fan, I have no input on the game whatsoever. It's just loud. That's your excuse. Everybody had the exact same playing field. It was equal playing field. And if anybody but LeBron won, no one would be talking about this bubble nonsense, bro. We all had fair game. We all had fair ground, especially those Clipper players who try to act like, oh, we didn't really want to be there anyway. Yeah, that's why you were up 3-1. Get out of here, dude. You guys choked it off. It is what it is. Clippers gonna clip. That's just how the world is. And we have a saying back at home: if the Lakers can't win, as long as the Clippers are gonna lose. So
That is indeed little brother. O'Shea Jackson Jr. is joining us. He's got a new film out. It's out today, Den of Thieves 2, Pantera. But you're a massive LA sports fan, so obviously we got to talk to you about LA. You know, it's interesting because obviously sports talk radio, we talked a lot about Bronny, and we still
yeah.
talk a lot about Bronny. And, you know, he's going into his dad's field. You are a little familiar with this. You're in the entertainment industry and show business. Your dad did that and does that as well. Do you have any advice for Bronny for how to blaze his own path and sort of step out of his dad's shadow like you have?
Recognize that the shadow concept can't be something that grabs your mind too much. Just recognize that it is about pushing that last name that you have further. And with Bronny being selected, I couldn't be more happy for him, man. The advice that I would give him would be while your dad is such a historical part of the profession that you both are in, you have to make decisions for your own as well, and recognize when to take the advice and when to do your own thing. There was a time during the first Den of Thieves where this is a funny story, but the first Den of Thieves is my third movie ever. Okay, so this is my first time out after Straight Outta Compton. This is my first time back in a major motion picture, and me being the character that I was playing in the first one, I'm not really filmed a lot, so it was a lot of days where I would come to base camp or to set. And I'm on set for 11, maybe 12 hours, and they don't get to my scene because they got to film Pablo Schreiber and Gerard Butler and other people higher than me on the call sheet. So, I'm staying there 11, 12 hours and then, getting a knock on the trailer like, sorry, Shay, we might have to get to you tomorrow. Sorry, Shay, I guess we'll just have to get to you tomorrow. And this happened 3-4 days in a row. And I remember hitting my dad like, yo, is this normal? Like, this is crazy. They got me kind of just waiting around. I show up on time. I'm ready to go, but they never use me. And he goes, just go home. What do you mean? Just go home. You ain't got to do that. Just go home. So, Dad, what do you mean just go home? This is the Ice Cube move. I'm not Ice Cube. I don't have that stardom yet. I can't afford to do that. I got to earn the stripes a little bit. I got to show them that they can't shake me. And I feel that Bronny has already done that when the story came out that he didn't want to do the away games for the G League team, but then he came back and made the decision to go through the stripes with the team. And then his first away game, he put up 30. So, like, if you have those moments where you feel in your heart, no, I got to do this for me because it'll be beneficial for me in the long run, that's when you'll be where you're supposed to be. So more power to Bronny and the entire James family.
What do you think of JJ Redick so far?
I mean, I love JJ Redick. I've been a fan of JJ Redick since he was giving people headaches in Duke. And the only reason why I'm a Duke fan is because of Kobe, because Kobe told me that that would be the one college he would go to. It's always USC, always. But, JJ Redick, I feel like he is not too far removed from the game. I feel like he understands the new concept of basketball. And I'm loving the fact that he knows when to call timeout because Lord knows Darvin Ham, I don't know if he thought they just rolled over to the next game or something, but good Lord, he would just save timeouts in the worst possible time. Like, oh, we just gave up an 11-point lead. Let the guys figure it out. Like, no, bro, stop momentum. So, I love JJ's plays after timeouts. The one thing that I do fear a little bit is that we're focused a lot on running plays. And I feel like we need to attack a little bit more, obviously more intensity on defense. When you pick up somebody like Dorian Finney-Smith, a 3-and-D guy, you want that. And we need a big. Anthony Davis has been telling us for years, I don't want to play the 5. And for some reason, the front office is like, shut up and go play basketball. I'm like, dude, how many years do I have to say I don't want to be the 5? And in 2020, we had help for him. We had JaVale, we had Dwight, and that was the best team we ever had. No disrespect to my man Montrezl Harrell, who is a dog, but a 6'8" center is not what AD needed to back him up. So we need a big. I love the kid Kessler. Hopefully we can figure out a way to get him, but nobody in the Western Conference wants to help the Lakers. But AD needs help down there.
Man, we told you he was a big sports fan. We weren't lying. O'Shea Jackson Jr. He's got a new movie out today. It's called Den of Thieves 2 Pantera. The first one, Perloff's seen it a million times. I've seen it once, okay? I can't wait for the next one. You're diehard LA, but, you know, O'Shea, I feel like I tried to do a little research about this, and the results were mixed about your football fandom. Your dad's like the most famous Raider fan of all time, Ice Cube. Are you Raiders? Are you Rams? Where do you fall here?
Yeah, that Raider fandom, that was just a movie. You know, I no, but the Raiders have always had a place in my heart. They've always had a place in my heart because that's what I grew up loving. And I remember just as a kid, just watching my dad just ram his head in the wall for this team. And so it bothered me as a kid because I'm like, Mom, like, we're not even from Oakland. Like, what's going on? And they're like, oh, well, they used to be from LA. And so, you know, I did my own personal research and I realized, you know, before they were from LA, the Chargers were from LA too. So does that mean that I can't go for the Chargers? Ain't they closer anyway? And so for a while, I was going for the Chargers, LaDainian Tomlinson, you know, Lorenzo Neal, Antonio Gates, and Phillip Rivers, the goodest quarterback of all time. And like, you know, like that was my team, that was my squad. And then when it came down to Los Angeles getting a team back in 2016, it was between the Raiders, the Rams, and the Chargers. And obviously for my dad, for, you know, just because of how much I know it would have meant to him, I was really rallying for the Raiders to come to LA. But because I know the circumstances that teams left LA for, I said whoever came first, I was going to give my all. I was going to give my everything too. And that was the Rams. Then that meant I had to cheer for Jeff Fisher for a year, which isn't necessarily the funnest thing in the world. But like, I give my everything to the Rams now. And, you know, I give Raider fans a lot of crap because they're always so confused about, you know, where my allegiance lies. My allegiance lies with Los Angeles and my Super Bowl winning Los Angeles Rams. I'm a Ram for life, unless they leave me like the Raiders keep leaving y'all. But as much crap as I talk, I am raised by the autumn wind, and the autumn wind is a Raider who pillages just for fun. He'll knock you around and upside down and laugh when he's conquered and won.
Is this a tryout for NFL Films? You're going to be on there. Maggie hates when I do this, but I'm going to pull out my Kobe card. I went to Lower Merion High School, which, as you well know.
Okay, go Aces.
Yeah, I got dunked on by Kobe at the YMCA. No big deal. I didn't know. Did you get to know him in LA?
Yeah, I ran into Kobe a bunch of times, you know, a few times here and there. First time I met Kobe was in 2006 at the Houston All-Star game, which is just a couple of weeks after he just scored 81 points, just signed with Nike. The world was on fire. And, you know, one of my favorite stories to tell is in 2019, I might have been a little inebriated at the house, but I got the liquid courage to DM Kobe because I had reached a point in my career where I was very stagnant. I felt like I wasn't going up, I wasn't going down, and I'm very easily content with life, but I wanted more for myself. So I hit him and I asked Kobe, I was like, can I get some movies, some books, some mantras to follow that always keep you going? And instead he gave me his number. And then so I texted him and he was like, you know, I'm gonna hit you in a couple of days. And I was waiting by the phone until he finally hit me. And we talked about our fathers and what it's like going into your dad's footsteps. And he told me that feeling that you've never done anything or that you haven't done enough to hold on to it, because that's the only thing that's going to make me want to get up and push and thrive for more. And if it wasn't for that moment, I would have never had another chance to talk to him because 2 months later he was gone. So I hold that moment dear to me, and I use it to keep me pushing forward.
Wow. O'Shea Jackson Jr. is joining us. He's got a new movie out today. It's called Den of Thieves 2 Pantera. He's in Europe now. You guys are pulling off jewel heists, and it's a lot of fun. It's really amazing. Last like LA sports question for you, and thanks for your time today. So this is
Absolutely.
a busy time. You mentioned USC.
Yeah.
USC. I'm curious the temperature of the USC fan right now, O'Shea, because I think that first season with Lincoln Riley, you thought you were a rocket ship, and it hasn't really gone that way. Where's the USC fan right now on the head football coach?
Right now, I'm begging for defense. Just still constantly begging for defense. Both thankful and upset about the transfer portal and everything that means. I know right now with everything that's going on in the city of Los Angeles, it's probably not the most appealing place for collegiate students as well. So there's a number of things that go through my mind. Yeah, I remember that first season with Lincoln and how just electrifying it was. Obviously, we fell short both times, but defense, that is just the main stake. Like we can shoot them out with the best of them, but we got to stop the other team, and we can't be getting upset by. We can't be going into triple overtime games with Arizona or like having Utah just run us amok. Like we need to continue to stay the course. I know Pete Carroll is somewhere in the back rubbing his hands, you know.
You want to
But
bring him back?
I mean, anything for a shakeup, and a lot of times we go for nostalgia to kind of quell or pacify a situation, but we just want to get back to the promised land. And when it comes to the University of Southern California, I am thankful and I am grateful for one name, and she is Juju Watkins. Oh my God. Oh my God. God bless you, Juju. Thank you for everything that you do. You know what I'm talking about. You everything. You everything. You Lady Trojan right now.
We didn't put her on the apex of LA athletes. That was our bad. We should have put Juju Watkins up there.
Box off.
O'Shea, thank you for the time. Oh, one last one. Our boss is the biggest fan of your dad alive, and he's in New York, totally different coast, loves your dad. He wanted us to ask you, what's your favorite album of your father's?
Ooh. It would be between Death Certificate, which is highly revered as his best album by a lot of people. But if I had to get a little, new era Ice Cube, I would probably say Laugh Now, Cry Later.
All right. Well, thank you. You've scored us some brownie points with our boss. Den of Thieves 2, Pantera. We love talking LA sports with you. We could talk wrestling with you all day, but we're flat out of time. Again, thank you and congratulations on the film.
Thank you so much. And obviously, I'm going for my Rams, but I want Bills versus Lions in this Super Bowl.
Maggie's a Bills fan.
I know. I saw it. I saw it.
Yeah.
I want Bills versus Lions. I want people to be going for their first Super Bowl. I need that.
Too bad Eagles are going to be there. My Philadelphia Eagles.
Yo, chill, bro. I've had Jalen 2 years in a row in fantasy, and he
You needed Saquon. That's your problem.
Exactly.
O'Shea Jackson Jr., Den of Thieves 2, Pantera. Thank you so much.
Thank you.